Hey there, everyone. This is Jim Morris, and welcome to the nichebot Live call-in show. This is the place where everyone will get the intervention you need to blow right past those obstacles that stand in your way. And I want to welcome you to this really special edition of the live call-in show. I am your host and founder of nichebot X since 2004. And I'm going to tell you real quickly why I created the show for Gold and Platinum users. And honestly, I think it's everyone just basically blows right past the quick start guide. That is the foundation of to understand anything. And I think men are very famous for this, blowing right past the manual and just going straight to using whatever power tool they're doing. And with me on the line for this special edition of the live show, I have Scott Patton. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Jim. I'm happy to be here. Excited to be getting into all the cool things that nichebot X can do.
Awesome. And yeah, and that's one of the reasons why, we're going, it was created in 2004 and it's completely evolved, and that's why we called this new fourth edition, we'll be talking about evolution. But don't you agree that we men sometimes definitely blow right past the quick start guides or the manuals on whatever things we buy? We just go start using it,
Jim, how long have I had full access to everything there is to know about nichebot, and how many times have I ever mentioned to you that on page 32 of the nichebot deep dig guide that you've got?
Yeah.
Really cool. Like, never.
I've never heard you bring up or cite one page of the quick start guide at all. And I don't think, yeah, go ahead.
There's a good reason.
Yeah.
There's a very, very good reason for that.
There is.
Embarrassed to say.
Well, you don't have to be embarrassed because it is, I believe, inherent and built into the genetic code of the male species.
Well, I totally agree. And that's one of the reasons why I'm really excited about this, because I'm going to be getting into some really interesting stuff with you, and I'm going to be learning a lot. And you know what? You might just motivate me to get into those guides.
Well, not just into the guides. You may not even need them after this, but you'll at least get some insight to know exactly which way to go and what to do with the tools. And here is the dashboard. And, the previous dashboard we were looking at was, let's see, we had this dashboard, which is the current one. And while this is nice, and you have this sort of, I don't know, Microsoft type feel on the menu, this one is really made, I like the tabs here that, sort of make you feel where you're at in the actual experience. And yeah, exactly. And we have these little informational boxes because you can see what kind of things you've got going. Like we've got, you can track your keywords here. We're going to talk about that. You can actually see how many projects you have in your keyword briefcase and how many keywords you actually have. Actually, I didn't want to do that, but as you can see here, you got
a lot.
I've got 1,391 keywords in my briefcase, and what's real, what's really cool about nichebot is if you don't have your computer and you end up going somewhere on a ship or somewhere else and you don't take your computer, what's great is nichebot follows you wherever you go. The information is wherever you go, so you don't have to take a computer program with you or have to install it on somewhere. You just log in and all your information is right there on our server that gets backed up. All the data gets backed up every single night. So
nice.
So we're going to go into this and we're going to run through, and you can just interrupt me at any time and ask me anything you want, and I'll cover it real quick. But what we want to do is just do a brief overview, go into exactly what is different about nichebot 4 from the previous version, and what's new and exciting that's really going to help people optimize. And this is really taking keyword research further and beyond by adding other dimensions. Say that again.
We're we're going to be doing follow-up webinars where we're going to get into the research in great depth, into the analysis in great depth,
Right.
content, everything else. And then we're actually going to do a case study where we're going to take an industry and we're going to say, okay, if you had a product in this industry, you know, where do you start so that you can follow it? Hopefully it'll, well, hopefully it won't be your industry, but you know, but you'll be able to look at it and apply that technique to any project that you're doing.
Right. I think we need to take really a general type of industry that people can relate to, you know, something like shoes, barbecues, you know, barbecue makers, you know, whatever it may be, barbecue smokers, you know, lawn equipment, treadmills.
Treadmills, yeah.
Treadmills, you know, that sort of stuff. But we need to cover something, I think, general that makes it easy. So it's not something so technical like keyword research, that sort of stuff, but we'll be talking about the essence of keyword research and how to research that topic. Yeah, so I think that will be really necessary. The thing is, I truly believe that we learn better when we see case studies of how someone else is doing something, because it gives us actually a sample algorithm of how someone's thinking. And if we don't have,
totally agree.
And if we don't have a way that, you know, a sort of map inside of our mind, we really don't know which way to go, and we have to create that map, and that can be difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now let's get started here. One of them is Content Theme Director, and what this basically does is it scrapes the top 10 pages and shows you what are the most related keywords out there for a particular theme or a keyword, so you can know which keywords you should use in your theme, in a theme of a web page that you may create, so you don't miss that. This is basically for LSI purposes, so you make sure to get those related words into a piece of content, because it will look better and it'll look more important in the eyes of Google.
Right.
Then we've got the New York Article X search, which allows you to look and figure out content that has been produced in the past by a world-famous magazine, newspaper, I should say, and it lets you figure out, basically, lets you go back into the archives all the way to 1981 to see what kind of articles were produced on your particular topic, genre, and it gives you ideas of what you might be able to write about. Once you've found those keywords and prioritized them and analyzed them, now you know you've got to build the content, right?
That's right.
One of the other things is you know, time to time you may want to look at what the live trends are on a particular, you know, what kind of hot searches people are searching for, both on Hot Trends, on Yahoo, and of course eBay, which is a marketplace. But this is a great way to what people are searching for now, and could be a keyword that's related to your industry that you can go after and get huge spikes of traffic right now. And the way you're able to do that, obviously, is you have, look, Pulitzer Prize winners, obviously not going to be much to sell on that particular thing, but as you can see, it's got a lower, you know, competition than most any, you know, keyword on here. Here's another one, buffet rule. I don't know what that's about, why people are looking for that, but it's got low competition. Of course, it's not, you know, got that many searches also on Word Tracker, but these are keywords that are spiking now. And one of the things we built into this tool is the ability to be alerted as soon as one of your most interested keywords are talked about. So right now, you know, Andy Gibbs in a coma, I had typed that in, you know, because I'm testing out the tools, always making sure they're working, and I put IRS and tax. But you could put your favorite keyword in here, you know, and I suggest only putting one keyword. So it will look for that keyword in any of the hot keywords that show up here, and you'll get notified as soon as that keyword, within the hour of when it shows up on the hot list for Google Hot Trends, Yahoo Leaders and Movers, and eBay. And we're actually putting in another database here, which is Twitter. You'll be notified.
Oh,
exactly.
Cool.
Yep. You'll be notified as to when it showed up and within the hour. So you can go and create some content and capitalize off this hot traffic that's spiking right now. Because this is traffic that's not going to be around 3 days from now. It's going to dovetail off it's going to start getting lukewarm, tomorrow, and then it's going to be pretty much fading out 48 hours to 72 hours from now. That's the life cycle of this stuff. But who knows? You could get, you write an article, post it on, post it up on Dig, and it could get a bunch of digs and a bunch of traffic. Boom, poof, right to your site. You could get a bunch of email subscribers, and you capitalized off that traffic. That's why we got this tool. There's the light version and there's the pro version. Obviously here you can see the hotness level of the keyword, so you can tell, oh, it's only medium. These are mild right now. But that kind of tells you, is it really a hot keyword? Is there a lot of traffic? It's going to say hot, and if you end up getting the pro version, which is either for platinum users or for people that get a separate subscription for it. If they have like a silver account, they can get the pro version with a separate subscription. But as you'll see with this pro version, you're given a lot more data, access to our archives, and the watch list that you get here basically is unlimited. You can watch an unlimited amount of keywords, whereas the light version, you only get to watch 3 words. So as you can see here, we add another column. Is this keyword moving up or down? Is it falling? That's sort of vital information based on, are you going to enter this keyword now? This one's on the upslope. Bruins are on the upslope. Am I going to want to?
Yeah, and if you look down further, you see the Capitals, and the Bruins and the Capitals, of course, have got a playoff series going right now.
Exactly.
And you can see
exactly, and you can see the ones that are brand new, like people are just starting to get hot about Dancing with Stars. Obviously, if this was a lower competitive keyword, I would probably do some content on it if it was related to my industry. But you can see these are brand new. They're coming in. They're going to start rising or they'll start falling. You can see the ones that are already falling. Tax day is over with today here in the U.S. It's already going down. But always you get to see the competition, how many web pages there are, to see if you even have a chance to get into the top 10 right now. But obviously this is the hottest point in time when Google is looking for quote, news type items, right?
Yeah.
So this is a great tool for looking out for ways to develop, obviously, content. This is the content, under the content tab. Next we go on to the optimize tab, and this is really where you're able to start tweaking things. And we've got a tool called the Content Comparison X, and this is another brand new tool I developed, which is sort of based on the content theme director, but it takes the content theme director a little bit further. And I don't think I've even told you about this tool, Scott. So
no, you haven't.
Let me try to get there, actually. Okay, it's not letting me get there. For whatever reason, it's not allowing me to get there. Folks, we need to send somebody out. Luckily, I know the URL for that, so I'll just type it in. And it is CCX, Content Comparison X. And here we go.
Okay.
All right, so basically, say you have a web page, right? And let's say we're talking about one that's on nichebot ranking. And that's one of my pages that I've wrote basically on that ranks for search engine ranking, okay? Well, let's say for instance, I want to compare that with the top 10. I'm sorry, you know what? I need to enter the keyword here, my bad.
I was going to say, I think you got it in the
Well,
opposite order.
it's getting late, Scott, you know, let's not be critical
It
here.
is.
Okay, anyway, so you want to basically enter the keyword that you want to focus in on. Say you have a keyword on search engine, you have a keyword ranking for search engine, or you want to have a keyword ranking for search engine rankings, and you're going after it, and you want to optimize your page. You want to make sure that your page is somewhat in line with the top 10 web pages on Google. Okay, so you type in search engine rankings. That's the keyword you want to focus on, and you could type in 1, 2, 3, 4 URLs. It doesn't matter, but obviously if you're just tweaking one page, you'll just enter one URL. It's going to go out and search this URL and compare it to the top 10 pages. And let's go do that real quick just to see what it's about. And like I told you, this basically just has one little tweak difference from the content theme director, which doesn't have this ability to compare against the top 10 sites. So as you see, Google's going out and grabbing the top 10 pages, and it's processing. Google, nichebot's grabbing all the data, it's sucking all the keywords off, categorizing it, and out soon will spit some magical data that we'll be able to look at and hopefully make some sense of. And as soon as this is finished loading, it will load right here on the page. And it's thinking about it, and it's about to load. I can feel it. Hopefully this recording hasn't taken too much RAM out of my computer so that it can load all the results. But this does load, sometimes up to 7,000 lines of keywords. But the main thing we're after is, did it happen on your screen or what happened?
No, I'm just saying 7,000 is a lot.
Oh, yeah. So, obviously the browser has to be able to handle that. I don't have a lot of RAM on this particular machine right here. So I don't know if this is going to, oh, it looks like nichebot is not responding. And it's not really that it's not responding, my browser wasn't responding. Because as you're going to see, okay, it's loaded up the chart at the top, but it hasn't loaded up all the keywords down below. And so that's what it's choking on. And as you can see, it's found 37,000 keywords that it's loaded down in the page below, and that's what took it so long to process. Okay, so it's got basically 37,000 keywords down here. But the main thing we're really interested in, the keywords down below are great, but it's mainly this chart we're after, okay? Because we instantly see in a glance, okay, what the top 10 keywords have that my page does not, okay? Well, we could see here, I have 728 words in my web page, and the average web page here has 2,114. Now, there are some sites that have around some web pages. Now, I didn't say sites. I mean, these are web pages, because Google doesn't rank websites, they rank web pages. So we have to make sure that's clear. A lot of people think, oh, I want my site to rank. No, you don't want your site to rank. You want your web page to rank. So these are 10 web pages, not in any particular order, but we can see, look at this. There's one web page that's got 196 keywords. So I think even though the average web page, which is thrown off by this 5,766, 7,850 word page, okay, there's 7,850 words on a page for search engine rankings. Now that's obviously a really long page, right?
Yeah.
So what this shows me is I'm about in the lower midsection. I'm in the lower range of how many words per page there are. Obviously, I think if I had 1,000 plus, Google would probably look at me a little bit more serious. Then we can go on to other columns which are also important. Is the keyword in my description tag? okay? Oh, I'm sorry, my apology. This is not keyword description. The keyword description is over here. This is the keyword density of the page. Okay, so how often does search engine ranking show out throughout the page? And I can see my web page is within the range. Even mine is higher than the average rating down here, which is
it's still in the range there.
Exactly, a fifth of 1% basically. Is the keyword in bold? Okay, you could see 2.8 times average a keyword. This word is bolded on the web page. Okay. Is the keyword in bold is the keyword in a backlink or in a hyperlink? Okay, we can see, is it used in you know, a backlink to the domain, or let me see. I was going to look in the I believe that's the keyword used in a backlink to the in the backlink showing up outside the domain.
The domain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is the keyword used in italics? Okay, shows right down here. These are all, I think, at least, you know, some
they're clues.
Exactly. Then is there how many external URLs are in the web page? How many internal URLs? In other words, how many hyperlinks point outside the domain on this web page, and how many point to an internal page on the website? So we can see that's pretty interesting data, because we know that Google wants to see some links that point out to other sites, not just to your site, or, you know, they want to see, you know, is this an authoritative page, and is this page, you know, giving unbiased information. So they want to see, are you pointing to some authority sites? So you can see that there are some external links, some good size of external links pointing to outside pages other than just internal pages. And then some other really important data, I think, which is the keyword in the heading? Is the keyword in the title tag? Is it in the description tag? And as we can see, I don't have either of them in, you know, in my, and I can't remember if I even did that or optimize this page. So this tells me how I can really optimize my page in comparison with the top 10 pages. Plus, I also have all the keywords in the page down below. So some really critical data as far as I'm concerned, and this allows you to tweak your page even further, you know, so that you're maximizing as much as you possibly can. So moving on, we've got the optimize, we've got the keyword density 2-in-1, which is an existing tool that basically just shows the keyword density. It's not as in-depth as the Content Comparison X. Then we've got the SEO Site Critic, which shows you what other types of, it gives you actual suggestions on the type of SEO strategies you could use on a particular web page. It will scan your web page that you put in, and it'll give you suggestions on how you can improve it, basically. We're not going to go into that because we just don't have the time. Then we have, this is a brand new tool, the SEO Site Critic. Then we've got ClickBank X Finder, which is a great way to find ways to monetize your website, as well as, and the reason I put this in the optimized category is that you can look at what successful websites that are already selling in your industry are doing on their website. So you can review, like, sales pages. You know, is this person using a one-page sales page that's allowing it to sell really well? And so besides just finding potential affiliate programs you can offer to an email list, you can also find a way to optimize your existing site to see what are other people doing in your industry. So that's basically covers the optimize. And then we've got the track. This is where basically, as far as I'm concerned, this is like nichebot keeping track, or helping you keep track of what's going on and be able to, and this is really kind of where the exciting part begins as far as I'm concerned. Not that obviously content and analysis is not exciting, but this is really kind of shows you where your efforts are going. And I think quite often, would you say that how many times do you log into your Google Analytics account? I'm sure everyone has that.
Probably every couple days.
Okay, so you do it every couple days. So that's pretty hardcore, I'd say. But I think a lot of times people are so busy they forget to check their Google AdWords thing. But there's a lot of data in there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's huge.
Exactly. But what if you could be alerted the moment a website visitor comes off your webpage, you're alerted by email, and an automated keyword list is generated based on your preference. Would that be handy for you to be able to instantly create a piece of content to make sure to keep that top search engine ranking that that visitor came off of? Because as we know, Scott, some of those rankings are here today and they're gone tomorrow.
Yep.
Some of those rankings stay. But what if we were notified as soon as a visitor came off a top Google page and we're able to reinforce that keyword phrase and that page that they came in off of, that keyword they came off Google and landed on a specific web page, and then also be notified as soon as someone does come in, and then also have a keyword list generated without us having to lift a finger, already done. And this is basically automated keyword research based on your visitors so that you can capture those search engine rankings that could be fleeting. They could be here today, gone tomorrow. Mm. So, and some of these words that I'm notified, and I do tracking for nichebot, automated keyword research, some of the keywords that I get notified about, I may not even see them until they're deep in the Google Analytics. They could be questions, and I can literally, as soon as those visitors come in off the page, I can go create some content about a question that someone typed into Google. And now I'm ready and armed and have that question answered on a web page the next time someone types it in. Pretty powerful, huh?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, so that's Keyword Capture X, basically automated keyword research. Then we have Rank Scoreboard. Basically, this keeps track of your top 10 rankings. So say you find all the keywords you rank for on your website and you want to track those keywords, this is where you'd put it. You add your domain and then you add your keywords on the second page. And nichebot here will alert you, okay, as soon as,
oh, wow,
if your rankings drop, you will be notified. Say you want to be notified if your rankings drop below 6 spots.
You could easily keep track of a lot of pages and keywords, couldn't you?
Exactly. Now, what's really interesting is a lot of people have these, they have these desktop tools, and that, I think those tools are great, but they actually have to be open in order for them to be monitoring your web pages. You got to at least open it once a day to figure out if your website has fallen in rankings or it does its automated thing. And one of the real bad things about it is when it goes out and it starts using your internet connection, you could get banned and you won't even get all the rankings checked. So you're limited in that way. What's really nice about nichebot doing it for you is we're using our own web sources, our own web server to do all the searches. Doesn't take up using your internet connection. You won't get banned on Google. You won't get banned on Yahoo. I said banged. You won't get you won't get banned
on Yahoo.
I think
Perfect.
that's a hot keyword right there. Okay, so oh my God, yeah. Okay, we're getting a little punchy now, and it's great. I think we're wrapping this up. So basically, you won't get banned on Yahoo. You won't get your IP banned on Bing either, and everything's done in the background, and you just get notified and alerted as soon as something drops. Now, one of the things I'm actually having built in the last hour for this is I think it's also nice to know when your rankings are rising, because it kind of tells you when you're doing something right. I think we also need to feel good about what we're doing, not just feel bad. Oh, shoot, my ranking just dropped 6 spots, 10 spots, 15 spots, right? We also need to feel good as a
Yeah.
human, Hey, we need a pat on the shoulder. So what I'm actually having built in here is, at the last minute here, is uh, uh, the ability for someone to be alerted within, about all their daily rankings that rise however many spots they want to be notified. So this is a great way to be notified, hey, you just went out and you did some web promotion and some backlinks to a particular web page for a keyword. This will tell you, hey, your ranking's just gone up. Kind of it's good feedback that, hey, what you're doing is working, right? Most of the times we go 3, 4, or 5 months without them knowing they're working, or even worse, it takes 2 months to see something working, or a month to see something working, and then we give up before actually seeing it work, and then we don't find out until 6 months later that it actually worked. That's actually happened to me. And as we can see here, in the background, we're obviously here late at night doing this live show, and nichebot is doing its backup as it's regularly planned to do on a daily basis, to back up your data so that your data is safe. Anything happens to the web server, it'll be restored within the next day. Okay, so this is the last thing in track, and the last one here is the extended stats, which are another huge improvement for nichebot, and this basically will allow you to track your web. And basically, it'll be able to track all the stats basically that you get from Google Analytics. You'll be able to get at nichebot, and this is great for people that want to move away from Google having your data. I mean, I'm beginning to be wanting to move a lot of my stuff away from Google because I don't want them to know everything that's going on with my websites. It's bad enough that they know, hey, when a visitor comes on my site and leaves the page, how long the visitor stays on there, whatever. I mean, I don't want to give them any more data to be able to decrease the rankings on my webpage. But what's really cool about this is these stats, these extended stats, give you real-time data, so you can see what's happening with your web visitors now, like right now. We'll be able to see, where are people coming off of. You can see it as it's happening. And whereas this is real-time, Google says they have real-time showing of their analytics, but it's not real-time at all. So that's another exciting feature that's happening at nichebot for the further evolution. And as you can see, it's a far cry short of just being keyword research. Agreed?
Way, way more. Pretty exciting to be able to track your pages that are ranking high and then know right away when something happens, like, oh, drop
Exactly.
5 points, great, let's put a couple articles out, get a few more backlinks, freshen up the content a little bit.
Exactly.
And boom. Get back
Exactly.
up there.
Exactly. And get this, you're not only going to be able to track your keywords and your website, but on the same keyword, wouldn't it be nice to track your competition? So say there's two particular sites on the top that are up there in the top 10 or the top 20 positions, okay? And you want to track them. You know, maybe they're trying to make a move on one of your positions, and you'll be notified as soon as they've gone up and say you've gone down. So not only that, you'll be able to see if they've gone up and maybe go see what exactly they've been doing, you know, because you can obviously go to Google, type in a search link, and see what kind of maybe changes they've made to their site. What kind of web promotions have they done? Did they do a press release? Blah, 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 blah. So it's a great way to also keep an eye on your competition and where they're at in the stats. So that's really one of the things. And one of the other things that's really cool is some people do, I'm not going to lie, and I like to sometimes, I just like to go to Google's keyword tool, although it doesn't give you any vital information as far as competition goes, because all they give you is how competitive a word is AdWords wise. But I have developed a desktop tool that will sit right in the corner of your desktop, you know, your little desktop tray in the on the bottom bar of your PC. I'm sorry about you Mac users. We don't have an Air version yet that you guys can use. But this is basically a PC tool. It sits on your thing. It monitors a specific folder, and when you go out and use the Google keyword tool and you save some data from it, you can put it in a particular folder. The desktop utility will monitor that folder and instantly import it into nichebot like this. Bam. And in fact, it won't even go into this screen right here. It will actually go directly into your project's keyword basket, because everybody at nichebot will have a folder called let's see. They will have a folder called application import, and this is where all of the imported keywords come in that you import, that get instantly imported. Okay, so it will come straight into here. You don't even have to do anything. All you have to do is go to the keywords tool, save it into a particular folder, and the tool takes care of the rest. It gets instantly, boom, ported right into here, so you can now come into nichebot and be able to sort the data, filter the data however you like, in ways that Google's keyword tool is unable to do. And plus, you'll be able to look at an unlimited amount of keywords versus being limited to saving the, you know, the spreadsheet to your computer and then having to, you know, mash them together. And a lot of people don't know how to work with, you know, spreadsheets. So this is a great way to do that without having to. Great way of doing that without having to, you know, without having to deal with spreadsheets. It pulls it right into nichebot, your native environment, and so you can work with it right in here. So that's basically it.
I have to say that working with the keyword briefcase is a joy, because I hate spreadsheets and everything else, and I just find it's really very simple and easy. And then when I do export what I want, you know, there it is in my spreadsheet, nice and easy. Thank you very much. So love what you've done with the keyword briefcase, Jim.
Thank you very much. And there's other things that we've done I'm not going to go into, but we've got this particular tool. Let's say you're doing work for a client on getting back with your ex, right? Okay, and you've got your tool. You know, I was doing some research here, I guess, for a client back in 2009. Okay, we've got these keywords here, and we want, say we're doing this work for a client, and we don't want to have to. What's nice is you can export this tool, export these searches out into nichebot, but say you want to get on the phone and you want to talk to them, right? Well, why not just give them temporary access to this whole folder so we can talk about it over the phone? I don't even have to export anything. Well, you click on over here, grant access to this folder, and it will take you over to an area where you can, and it looks like, you know what, sometimes in between you can see the thing spinning over here, and obviously right now the database is being backed up, so nichebot is choking right now on that request, and it's probably not going to go anywhere until probably another half hour while it's backing up the database. So, but what this does is it takes you to an area where you can fill out a screen, send a link to your client, and nichebot will send the email for you to the client. They'll be able to see this exact folder, but in a private guest viewing area, and you can even put your own logo on that page so that they arrive there, they recognize it's you. Obviously, they'll be going to a nichebot URL, but they'll be able to see exactly what you do, these keyword lists, and you can talk it over right over the phone on the screen. They're seeing the same thing you're seeing, and you don't have to export anything or do any extra work. And I'm proud to say I believe we are the only tool, Scott, that has a recycle bin. Oops, I was up 2 o'clock in the morning and I deleted something, and even though I get prompted, with a screen that says, "Are you sure you want to delete this basket entry?" Right when you hit the delete key right here, and I said yes, but I really wasn't thinking. You could go back into, you can go into the recycle bin and recover it. And
so cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this to me is like, these are essential things. So anyway, that pretty much covers everything. And actually, I don't think it even covered a really important part, and that is, I can't even, you know what, I'm not going to be able to go into it, but the other really cool and exciting feature that's has been added is being able to check keywords that you have in a list in bulk to see which domains are available for that keyword, using that keyword as a .com domain. So you'll be able to check a list. Say you want to check this whole list of 936 keywords to see which keywords can actually be used as .com domains and are available right now. .coms, .nets, .orgs, whatever it may be you want to check. But what's cool about that is we know that keywords as domains actually do rank. They tend to be able to rank higher. So
yes.
You can create a domain, host it on a different server than your actual site, and you could get some content on that website ranked high, and then obviously you want to link back to your site to have the visitor come to your site from whatever traffic that domain reaps. And so that's one of the strategies you can use, and this helps you do it by checking a whole entire list instead of having to go to some place and type in one .com domain at a time. You can just check the whole list of 900 keywords. Within 2 minutes you're done. So I obviously see there's so much stuff that we have added into the evolution 4 of nichebot, this new version of nichebot, and there's so many things. I even forgot some here at the end because obviously we've been going for a little bit of time, and my brain is fried by just talking about all this stuff. And it's not just one or two little things, as you can tell.
No, it's a lot of great information that you can get, and you can get it easily and quickly, which is the most wonderful part of the whole thing.
Exactly, and you and I are going to be doing some follow-ups, not just case study, but we'll be going through each section of nichebot and covering them in detail and exactly how to go about doing things. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to having everyone get a chance to use nichebot. Oh, and I think I see this is done spinning, so maybe you can see now granting access folder. Maybe that'll load up. Yes, no, maybe so. Nope, it just stopped spinning. So it's obviously still backing up right now over at Rackspace. So we're going to go ahead and stop that. So anyways, thanks so much for coming on and chatting and looking over the brand new nichebot and asking me some poignant questions that I think were awesome. From your your view on keyword research, and hopefully I've enlightened you and maybe got you a little excited on what's going on and what's going to happen in the new version of nichebot coming up. And possibly you might be able to use some of these tools with your own web efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna delve into this way more. There were a few sections that I was familiar with and was using a lot, and now I'm going to be delving into these other areas big time because I think I can see the advantage to it.
Yep.
So
Well,
thank you, Jim. I know you've put a lot of time, effort, and a huge amount of thinking into how you can make it easy for people to find out the most profitable keywords.
mm-hmm.
And I think it's pretty obvious you've succeeded.
Right. Oh, and this is actually a screen I already had open already. And as you can see, you got the button here to check for domains. Right, exactly. So, yeah, and you're right. I'm embarrassed to say, but I've had this on the plate since 2009 because I mean, we've made improvements along the way since 2009, but this is a big, huge update that I've had a lot of back-end stuff created, and some of it didn't get, you knew I had that accident that nearly paralyzed paralyzed my right leg. And so things kind of got put on hold, and then they got picked up, and then they got put on hold again, and then picked up again. Finally, I've been working on this feverishly to finalize this stuff up in the last year and a half, and I've not just spent an enormous amount of time over the last 3 years thinking about it, refining it, and all that sort of stuff, but I put my own personal funds into this as well. So I've got a lot invested personally in this, as well as the time. So I hope a lot of people do reap the benefits of what I've created here over the last 3 years, all these improvements, the major ones. So
absolutely.
I'm tired.
All right. We're done now. So thank you much for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.